Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds. And it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else.
The way that we eat doesn't change.
Exactly.
The foods I eat, I tell people this, the foods I eat don't change, whether I'm losing weight, gaining weight, or maintaining weight. It never changes. I always eat the same things. Always.
Exactly.
You still need to eat healthy foods.
Quality food. Yeah.
Quality food, like the majority of the time, but you can still work in things that you like.
Yeah, dude, like 80%, 90% quality food. I have Dove chocolate every night. I have 2 to 4 pieces of whatever fits in my macros, so I'm going to cut every night. Because it just curves it gives me that sweet tooth, curves my cravings, and I'm solid. When you're practicing resisting your impulses more and more and more, like you'll pick up your phone and you'll like consciously catch yourself that you're about to go through this loop. And it's gonna be so easy, like especially you're like, you know, you're going through, you're pulling the peanut butter out, since we're on that, we use that topic, example so many times. It's like, you know, you pull the peanut butter out and you're like, oh, I just want to eat the rest of it on the spoon. It's like, no, you're gonna catch yourself. You're gonna be consciously aware of the situation. It's going to be like, nope, like that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not fulfilling on, like, you're just going to be like, no, this isn't supporting me. Like that's usually what comes to my mind right away when I'm in the act of doing something or about to do this pattern or this, you know, diving, like allowing myself to go into the resistance rather than resisting the impulse. I'll be like, nah, man, this doesn't support me. Stop thinking about, and I know it's easier said than done because a lot of people's brains are wired this way, but like, you have no idea what's going to happen in 5 minutes. You have no idea what's going to happen in 5 days. And you have no idea what's going to happen next week. So like, stop telling yourself that, you know, what if that, like you're basing your now out of fear. And like by saying, oh, like I'm not where I should be. I'm not seeing results fast enough. Yet in reality, in the moment, you really are where you should be. You really are creating results, but you're too hooked on how things should be and not grateful for what you've accomplished so far.
Everyone is so differently built. And honestly, if I compare myself to any other guy that works out as many hours as I do, as hard as I do, he's going to be twice my size.
And why is that? Why is that? Let's elaborate on that.
Because I'm a woman. I don't have the same freaking hormone setup as a guy do. But that does not mean that I can still look the best that I can or that I can lift the way that I can. But again, I am not trying to become anyone else than me. So therefore, I'm also not annoyed anymore. The only reason, again, why I'm annoyed when people write that is because I know people are watching my comments. And I don't want a woman that kind of wants to look like the two of us. I don't want her to see that because maybe she cannot cope with that just right now.
That's your heart, man. I love it, Ida. You're such a sweet like that. Nobody thinks about that stuff. Like as deep as like that's deep. You're concerned about a woman who it may be feeling insecure, wants all of these things, aspires to look like you or I, and they see that comment and then that could easily deter her from wanting to embark on her journey. If you're focusing on the breaking down of those calories more efficiently into paying attention to how much fat you're having, how much protein you're having, and how much carbohydrates you're having, that's going to support muscle growth. And again, to reiterate it, that's what's going to support you looking more toned. If you can plan your meals ahead of time, which is so very important, you guys, like the day before, you're going to be able, or even just like your pre and post workout meal, like that is the first 2 meals that I would highly recommend that you start paying attention to. You want to eat pre-workout, you want to eat post-workout. And that paying attention to those 2 things, it's going to help you to start stimulating muscle repair and start that growth process. It's going to give you the pre-workouts. What's going to give you fuel for your workout, the protein, the carbohydrates, very important pre-workout to have the fuel for your workout. And then post-workout, as I've already explained, I used to work with a client who was like, I just don't have enough time before I can work out in the morning. And I was like, yes, you do. You have at least 30 minutes before you're going to, from the time you get up to the time you're going to go work out. So when you get up, listen, you may not want to eat or once you get up before you work out, because your body is so used to not eating, right? And the second you start fueling yourself for the first couple of days, for the first week, right, that you're trying this new thing, that you're fueling yourself before you work out, it may be hard. It may feel like you're going to throw up in the middle of the workout, but guess what? As you keep doing it and you do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, your body's going to adapt to you now having food before your workout. Okay. So it's all about adaptation, you guys. Your body is conditioned one way to not have anything before you work out. And so you can easily change it and make it adapted to the fact that you have a meal before you do go work out. Anything that consists of like a complex carbohydrate that you eat, which is like wheat-based products like oatmeal, brown rice, those things, whole wheat bread, like that I mentioned, whole wheat toast. These things should be consumed anywhere between like 60 and 90 minutes before you work out, or 60 to 90 minutes before you work out. And the reason is because they take longer to, like, complex carbohydrates take longer to digest than simple carbohydrates. And they also produce longer sustained energy levels than simple carbs do. So you have it like 90 minutes out and you go to work out 90 minutes later, you're still going to have a sustained energy level throughout your entire workout. Whereas if you have a simple carbohydrate like fruits, white rice, rice cakes, English muffins, that's another really good example for you morning people that are early risers and go work out. But you'll want to work out when you have these types of carbohydrates. And with protein, it doesn't matter, but these types of carbohydrates, it does. Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else.